All righty, gang. Here we go. Holy moly, guacamole. This is unbelievable. This is absolutely unbelievable. All right. We're going to wait for a couple more people to get on here, but we got quite a few already. So thank you all for jumping in here. Thanks for sharing this with your friends. Thanks for being a part of this because this is super important to the industry, to all of you that fish in Southern California. Shit, anywhere you fish on the planet Earth, this is going to have something to do with you because what they got proposed here is going to absolutely devastate sport fishing in Southern California. This is absolutely going to devastate the sport fishing in Southern California. You all know I don't sugarcoat anything and I don't pretend to be anybody I'm not, and I only work for me. So I'm probably going to piss off some people tonight on the higher up the food chain. But you know what? I'm going to be okay. I'm going to only tell the truth, ladies and gentlemen. All I have is the truth. You need to share this when it's over with every single human being you know that cares about this United States of America, that cares about your country, because, gang, what they've got proposed right now is going to end sport fishing in Southern California. It will. It's going to end it. Okay? I put this out on social media. If you're able to read it, great. If you haven't read it yet, you can read it right after we're done. But this is absolute real. This came through today, July 28th, gang. Southern California, we've been under assault for a very long time in this fishing industry. My father's been at this since 1947. He stood up for all of us, and he stood in the gap, and he tried to make sure that we always had fishing to do. Well, as most of you know, my father passed away back in January, and it's been a struggle for the industry to deal with that. But on top of that, we had to deal with the gas price, and now here they go again. This one's going to do it. This will be it if you think about it, but it doesn't have to be, gang, and we can all get together and we can all do this. Listen, all of you right now that have a computer and you're listening to me, and you can type this out. Type director@wildlife.california.gov. Put it on here. Director@wildlife.california.ca.gov. Director@wildlife.ca.gov. Put this on all your social, put it on this, put it on everything, because here's what's about to happen, ladies and gentlemen, and it's going to be horrible. They already took our rockfish for 2 months away from us in the wintertime when we had no other way to make a living. And I'm talking to everybody. I'm not talking just to my family and the sport fishing family that has a phenomenal amount of boats that are going to be devastated by this, but I'm talking to all of you. If you have a boat that you run, that you do charters on, if you have a boat that you take your children out fishing on, this is going to affect all of you. Wake up. You got to wake up, gang. I don't care. I got to tell you, wake the hell up. This is it. This is it. The 30 for 30 is coming down the pipe. I've been talking about that for 2 years. But this one, they slipped it in this morning. And I have some people higher up the food chain, way higher up than I am, that said, oh, they were going to assess this later on down the line. And don't talk about it. Don't share any of it. They're going to assess it later on. And that's why I got you all to start using those descending devices. Gang, I get 2 million views every 2 days. I'm talking to people. So listen to me. This is real. Gang, they're coming this time, and they slid this one in here. Why? We're all worried about the price of gas, and we're all worried about the economy crashing, and they just slid this one in this morning. And this is going to devastate the sport fishing industry, private boaters, sport fishing boats, everybody. The whole article I posted on all social media, and you should all share it. But right now you need to listen, and you need to wake up, okay? Watch this and listen carefully to the way they worded this, so it sounds magical, and it makes you go, oh, we're saving the planet. We're not saving shit. Sorry, I don't mean to cuss in front of your children, because you know you can come to my shows and I don't cuss, and I apologize, but I'm fired up right now, and I'm super pissed. Okay. California sport groundfish regulation divides the state into 5 groundfish management areas. in which the fishing season, fishing seasons, rockfish conservation areas are depth constrained and bag limits may differ. Period. In 2022, nearshore rockfish fishing season lengths ranged from 8 to 10. Listen, this is where, pay attention, from 8 to 10 months. Gang, right now, that's pretty much the only fish we have to fish for most of the time because there's not a lot going on in Southern California. Remember, they took away our sand bass, calico bass. They closed down a third of the coast for the MLP. So listen, here's we go. This is where it gets really gnarly. In 2022, near ground fish season lengths range from 8 to 10 months. But in 2023, they are expected to shrink to not more than 5.5 months. That means they're going to slice it in half. Gang, we all get so excited for March 1st to come. All the sport boat industry, all the private boats, we all get excited for March 1st, the opening day of rockfish season. Now they're going to open it maybe in January or June. Or here's what I told Chase. Listen, here's what I think they're thinking about. Closing it from October to March. But all I can tell you is if they say they are expected to shrink to not more than 5.5 months, then that guarantees you it's going to be closed less. Gang, those of you that own a sport fishing landing, those of you that own a sport fishing boat, you're done. You are done. You're done. So wake up. You got to tell every one of your passengers and every one of your clients to write this to director@wildlife.ca.gov. If you never thought about doing anything, now's the time. You got to wake up, folks. If you like to fish at all, this is going to do it. This is going to do it, gang. You got to all write a letter and tell them how this doesn't work for any of us. They're trying to tell us that there was science behind this closure, which is, and I can read the rest of this too, or you can read it to yourself because you already know I'm not a very good reader. But I read it 100 times today to make sure that I could decipher what the hell they're talking about. Listen, once it's gone, they're telling us now that you should be excited though, because we're going to open up more depths. Yes. And you'll be able to, listen, you'll be able to fish for black gills, yellowtail rockfish, midwater widow cod, and bottom-dwelling blackgill rockfish. Do you know where those blackgill rockfish live? In 2,400 feet of water. Gang, they're sugarcoating this. Sorry, I'm going to cuss. They're sugarcoating this shit to make it sound like they're doing us a favor. Gang, I don't know if you've ever dropped a line down 2,400 feet. If you don't have an electric winch to pull those two fish you're going to get to catch up, that sucks. You got those big giant reels you bought to catch bluefin. You're going to get to use those to go rockfish fishing to catch black-gilled reds that live in 2,400 feet of water. They opened the depth last year and took away our fish, and they let us go fish in the cowcod depth of 600 to 800 feet of water, but we're not allowed to have cowcod. They keep sugarcoating the crap they're trying to shove down our throats, gang. We need to everybody put this down on I don't even see anybody sharing this. Director@wildlife.ca.gov. Gang, this is real. This is happening. You don't think it's going to affect you because you only like to fish for bluefin? Well, if there's no boats to only go fish for bluefin, then you're not going to get to fish for bluefin because the boats can't run 2 months a year. They can't. They cannot run 2 months a year. They can't. It's impossible. The industry cannot fish 2 months a year and survive. We can't survive the gas price. We can't survive the MLP. And we sure cannot We cannot survive a 5-month season on rockfish. And you know damn good and well they're going to put it in the middle of the season, summer when we don't need them. They're going to put it in the middle of the summer when it doesn't matter. Gang, you don't like me, I don't care. You need to write these letters. This isn't about me. This has nothing to do with me. This has to do with all of you, everybody. Yeah, my family, my father worked very hard to build that Dana Orr Sport Fishing, and my sister and my brother run it very, very well. But they can't run it on nothing. They can't do it. This is not about them, though. This is about all of you. This is about everybody in the industry and everybody outside the industry that just likes to go outside. Gang, it's not going to ever end if you just keep sucking your thumb and not doing. We got to be proactive on this. We need to send these letters in, and you need to share this video with your friends. You've got to share it with everybody. There are people in your circle of friends that aren't going to be very happy, even though they don't fish, that this is happening in California again. Another travesty to us. Your friends aren't going to, you got to share this information though, because they slid this in back door. They didn't tell any of the higher ups. When I saw this, I made some phone calls and there were some people that were absolutely shocked because they weren't supposed to tell, and this wasn't supposed to come out. They lied to the higher ups. Gang, that's why I did this. That's why there's this emergency meeting, this show right now. This is what it's all about, gang. It's about getting the word out. I need everybody to help me. We're going to share the living bejesus out of this, believe me, across my social media for the next week. And we're going to keep giving out the director at wildlife.ca.gov. We got to get these emails into him and tell him, or her or him or whoever it is, that we can't sustain this. It's unsustainable. It's going to devastate the industry from the Oregon border to the Mexican border. It's going to devastate the industry. It is absolutely going to devastate the industry. Don't take my word. Go ask some of the people that do it for a living. Go ask some of your buddies that run their sport boats if they took away the rockfish. Ask them if that would affect what they eat for dinner tomorrow night. Just ask them. Don't listen to me. I only been doing this for 48 years. Don't listen to me. Go ask your friends that run the sport boats that you fish on or the charter boat that you fish on. Go ask them. Go talk to them and ask them, hey, if they took away your rockfish, how would that affect you? How would that affect your vacation? How would that affect your family and your children? How would that affect the fuel dock? How would that affect the bait company? This whole thing matters so much. So much. That's why I took time out of my life at 8 o'clock at night on a Friday night to sit down here and talk to you. That is no one fishes in 2,400 feet, but that's where black-gilled reds live, and that's what they're trying to sugarcoat. If you read this thing, and you got to read the whole thing, and they want you to feel so warm and fuzzy inside because they're giving you the deeper depths. The deeper depths we don't catch poop in. Let's be honest. We don't catch any of these rockfish they're talking about. They don't want us to fish. Bottom line. That's the thing. Whether you want to believe they're doing this to conserve. I'm going to break it down real quick and then I'm going to get off of here. Gang, you cannot adversely affect the population of fish in the ocean with the fishing pole. No, not even you. Even though you're that good, Glenn, even though you're that good, Bert, even though you're that good, Dean, you have zero effect on the population of fish in the ocean. That is the major travesty here. It's not going to help anything. If we take one copper rockfish per person for 60 people on the boat, that isn't going to change the population down there. That isn't going to have anything to do with it. I'm sorry. It won't. I only can talk to you from a realist perspective. I know you're not that good. I fished with most of you before. I know you're not that good. You cannot adversely affect the population of fish in the ocean. Okay? I'm just telling you. So thank you for joining me today. Pay attention. Put these emails out. Even if you hate fishing and you hate me, send a letter to director@wildlife.ca.gov and tell them that this will devastate the industry. It'll devastate most marinas, most donut shops, most fuel docks, most bait docks. This will do it. This is about it. With the price of fuel and all the other things that are going on in California right now, this is the nail in the coffin. If you don't believe me, don't do anything. Sit back and watch. And by next year, when we're sitting down here talking, there won't be any sport boats running anymore. Everybody will be out of business. Mark my word. This industry was barely hanging on in 2014. El Nino saved the industry. But before 2014, there was a lot of boats that were being foreclosed on. There was a lot of captains' houses that were being foreclosed on. 2015 saved us. My father getting that limit of bluefin up to 2 saved us. But this rockfish thing is going to be the end. Absolute end. All right. Thank you for joining me. I hope you understand. I hope you share this information with everybody in your share, and write the letters to director@wildlife.ca.gov. Thanks for being here. Thanks for taking a few minutes out of your Friday night. I really appreciate it. My family appreciates it. The industry appreciates it. Leave your letters, please. Thank you. Goodbye.